Hello, everybody. This channel is being created to demonstrate what it takes for a dumbass, nice to meet you, to be able to create a $10,000 MRR, which just means monthly reoccurring revenue product, software product. And what kind of makes this journey a little bit different is I'm actually going to be, this sounds delusional, but learning machine learning from scratch. I have no background, no degree. I'm not a mathematician. I pretty much suck at math. For those that don't know, my background is kind of in software, but it's more web development, which is, I think people that aren't familiar with software kind of just think it's all the same, but there's very different parts in the software world, which web development is kind of like level one, I would say. I know that's going to trigger a lot of people, I'm sorry, but let's just say I know a lot of computer science magicians, and the difference between knowledge needed is it's on a different level. So I'm not going to kind of group myself in that category. I definitely can, you know, I can definitely understand the difference. So I'm basically coming with no background in this space. I'm going to be learning machine learning, documenting that journey, improving a state of the art model, and then building an application based on that improved model. And I think a lot of people would say there's no point in doing that. Take what's out there and build upon it. That would definitely be a lot quicker, right? But I'm kind of someone that thinks I have to put in the work to fully understand what I'm building on top of, and not even that, right? It's like if I can do this, it's already going to be an inherent advantage, right? And in this day and age, it's true that distribution is probably a lot more of an advantage to be focusing on than the software product released. I definitely agree with that, right? But I'm not going to completely neglect the fact that quality, usability, UX, all of these things are greatly important. And if you can have an edge there, as hard as that may be to come around these days, it used to be a lot, easier, but nowadays anyone is creating and releasing software products at the drop of a hat. So, if I can have any sort of advantage as when it comes to actual features, which is what I'm looking to do, building upon this improved model for musical generation, then I think that's just something I would feel comfortable spending time doing, right? I don't want to take a risk and base my whole competitive advantage on a distribution channel that isn't even existing yet. So that's where I'm at, and that could be delusional. Probably is delusional, but I'm still gonna do it. Um, and yeah, I kind of wanted to just make this intro to kind of show people that again, if you have an idea, you should just go for it. And I'm basically just a complete dumbass, a random dumbass who is taking action. And I think that if you are a genius and you don't take action, then there's no point, right? It's like, sure, you can wallow in your intellect, but if you don't take action, it's being wasted. Okay, so I wanted to show that if you have an idea, just go for it. And I guess I'll go through the steps, right? I kind of already did, but the steps I'm going to do are: one is learn machine learning, delusional, sure. Two, improve the model, improve the state of the art model. Three, build the app. Okay, that's not what I'm worried about, right? Again, I have a web development background. That should be pretty straightforward. Database, front end, whatever. But I wanted to know your guys' opinion. Please leave a comment. Should I market while I'm building or after? Right? Because my thinking is it's better to get the more eyes on it the sooner, right? The sooner the better. There's no point in waiting, right? It might not be a fully fleshed out idea, application. It doesn't matter, right? As long as we're getting eyes on it, it's better than just into the void of nothingness. So my idea is to kind of market while I'm building. Part of that will probably be in these videos. Part of that will be other strategies that I will definitely share along the way. And then the fourth step is just releasing the application and building upon user feedback. Again, guys, you don't know what users want, okay, until you release the product. And I've kind of learned this working as a developer, where it's like you have this amazing idea and you think, oh my god, I think I'm going to change everyone's lives. It gets released and people are like, what the fuck? Why is this even here? You need to have user feedback. You need to have people getting, use cases based on their own kind of preferences and what they actually need out of something, right? You can't. It's hard to guess that. Even if you think it's simple, it's easy. It's hard to know what other people actually want. So yeah, iterating is going to be a huge step there after it's released. But those are kind of all the steps I have right now. I don't know how long this journey is going to take, but I will be documenting every step of the way and my journey for learning machine learning. And again, I'm not creating a model out of scratch, out of thin air. Um, I'm going to be iterating upon existing state-of-the-art models and optimizing for very specific metrics. So while it is delusional, right, I think it's somewhat more doable, even if not a huge amount. It's somewhat more doable than kind of competing against all these MIT researchers um, and again the musical space is kind of not really a main topic when it comes to machine learning. A lot of people are focused on text. That's where a lot of the capital funding is coming from. I have some friends in that space, and that's what I've kind of heard. Um, there's definitely, don't get me wrong, there's people building in the musical generation space. It's just a lot less. Okay, so that will be another factor to kind of think about. Um, but anyways, thanks guys for sticking around, and if you enjoy this kind of documentation, I know it's a very rough video. Um, please leave a comment, any suggestions, anything else you'd like to know, and any questions at all. Um, I will be trying to post once a week to document the journey and include all the details I can. But thanks for watching to the end. If you did, please subscribe and hit the like button. Other than that, I'll see you in next week's video.